What the hell? Where am I? I must have gone through some sort of time warp. Maybe playing Rare Replay was a little too much for my ex-boner. Crazy shit, man, because like, I was just playing Rare Replay, and all of a sudden it brought me here. I hope that I don't get blown up by some sort of explosion, but it seems like I'm safe. So while we're on the subject, Rare Replay came out for Xbox One a couple of weeks back, and stop it! Jeez, man, holy. It's a collection of 30 games, $30, billed as $1 a game by Microsoft. Is this $1 a game? Would you guys knock it off? Excuse me for 1 second. I don't give a shit what you're doing. Stop it. No, come on, you're constantly... Wait, I'm doing a video. I don't care whose team is winning. Stop camping. Jeez. Sorry about that. Now, is it worth $30? You think about it, most of these games could be duds. I decided to literally put my ass on the line, go back in time, and check out Rare Replay to see if Microsoft gets another 30 of our dollars, or if these games should have just been tucked away in the sweet nipples of time. So how do I get out of here? What do I don't think this is, I don't think I'm gonna be able to leave. Hang on, what's this button do? The first game I absolutely had to try was Blast Corps from the N64. This was one of the most underrated games I've ever played. Blast Corps is a game which you use vehicles of mass destruction. You use these items and bulldozers and all sorts of fucked up shit to destroy anything in the path of an oncoming nuclear carrier. That's right, the Kitty system, N64, had a game about nuclear explosions. If you didn't destroy the path fast enough, the truck would just drive into a building and the level was over. You'd have to restart. This game didn't look super great back then, but it had a unique look to it. Not quite realistic, but not quite cartoony. Graphics were a little limited based on the N64's limited RAM, but it still looked pretty good. The controls are challenging. Each vehicle of mass destruction has its own playstyle. Some are easy, some are hard. You can imagine that certain levels force you to use the hard ones. It's not about being hard for the sake of hardness, it's about beating the challenge of the time limit and the nuclear missile. It's actually really fun. It has an old school map to select your levels. There's tons of secret little levels and challenges, as well as training and bonus stages. It's just the full package. I went to this game like 6 times when I was 13 to 14 years old. I really recommend Blast Corps, and I can't get enough of it. Absolute perfection. The next game we're looking at is Jet Force Gemini, another game by Rare that came out in '99 that was very underrated. This game got pretty good reviews, but not the typical 9 out of 10s that Rare games were used to getting. I think this game got like a 7 point something on IGN. That's IGN. So you know, if a game gets a 7 on IGN, maybe there must be something wrong with it. It did get a 10 like normal. So that was my first inkling that this might be a little fall from grace. But no, Jet Force Gemini is a very competent third-person shooter. Jet Force Gemini tasks you with killing bug aliens and lots of splattering blood, and it's fantastic. The controls feel very wonky on the Xbox One because you're not using the N64 controller, which typically used the C buttons to move and the control stick to aim in games like this. Whoa! Whoa! Holy moly! So I'm traveling through this crazy time tunnel. And when I look at Jet Force Gemini, I see an N64 game with promise that didn't quite live up to its full potential, but it was a pretty good third-person shooter for a system that didn't have too many. The control scheme has been updated so you can play with more normal controls, but again, I just felt like it was very difficult to aim and shoot for some reason in this game. I love shooting shit. Whoa! Huh. I think I almost hit a mosquito. Captain's log. Stardate. 102.1 FM The Edge. I've appeared in some dingy apartment known as the Kingdom, where I appear to be even further in time. It's the 1980s. Captain Kirk is long since been replaced by Jean-Luc Picard. I don't know why I'm talking like this. I'm in the 80s, and apparently I'm playing some even weirder games. I started with the N64 games that I fondly remember. I didn't do Banjo-Kazooie because it's already on the 360 marketplace. If you've wanted to play it, I'm sure you'd have played it by now. I think I have to try some of these games out. It appears playing these games is bringing me even further back in time. I just want to get back to 20XX. Maybe it's not a good idea that I'm wandering around somebody's apartment in the 1980s playing their old school games, which to this point is probably new school and next gen to them. To them it's like, whoa, look at this game, it's 8-bit. Good old RC Pro AM. If any game's gonna take you back to the 80s, it better be this one. This was one of those games that kind of started us into racing games. I mean, you had F1 pole position, which was cool because it was quasi 3D, but this game was even more three-dimensional. It was rare to see. Get it? Rare. I hate my life. This game wasn't just randomly hard to control, it was masterfully hard to control, and you had to perfect your skill, memorize the tracks, and avoid or shoot the other racers. This game seriously had a lot of high skill value to get into, and kids growing up on RC Pro AM are better gamers for it today. Watch me just completely fuck this race up. This is what I do online these days. Yeah, I know. I'm an asshole. And this game, Gunfight, this is one of the weirdest titles on the system. I mean, I don't even know what system this was for. This doesn't even look like an NES game. This looks like a Game & Watch game or something. But it's still pretty impressive for its time. I mean, look at it. It's trying to emulate a three-dimensional world, and it can't even use the full screen. So it uses what it has, and although the game looks kind of like a drawing, it looks pretty good for its time. This game's fucked. It looks like I'm shooting women. Seriously, look at these people. Or bad guys that dress in drag, a bunch of Caitlyn Jenners or something. I feel wrong. Okay, so basically what I'm talking about is two rare games that were complete disappointments that are included on this disc. Grabbed by the Ghoulies. It came out in 2003, and it was right after the acquisition of Rare by Microsoft. A lot of Xbox fans were hoping for the universe or something, because Grabbed by the Ghoulies, it was not. No longer was it the masterpiece of Donkey Kong Country, Diddy Kong Racing, Banjo-Kazooie, whatever other gems they made. This was an average title. A Rare game being an average title was, I mean, it was unthinkable. And this was the first of many, unfortunately. Grabbed by the Ghoulies is a fun beat-em-up. I do appreciate a good beat-em-up, but it's not a Rare game, you know? It has that Rare style, that British humor, and the kind of cartoony charm they're known for. And I like how the presentation's done like a storybook. But the combat's all done on the right analog stick. It's very simple. I mean, this game's fucking dwarf. Especially for their first game. And it can be forgiven, it's their first game. But no! Do you want to know what Rare's most fucking disappointing, irritating, gouge your eyes out, holy fuck, I can't believe they made this? Perfect fucking Dark Zero. On the surface, this game isn't horrible. It contained fully functional to this day online multiplayer. like it was actually a pretty good launch title. So what the fuck am I complaining about? This is perfect dark. This isn't just generic Shooter X or Call of Duty Black Ops 12. This is perfect fucking dark. The sequel to GoldenEye, one of the finest console shooters ever. This game was not even comparable to the original Perfect Dark, let alone GoldenEye. It just didn't have the heart and soul. You could tell it was rushed, and although it contained decent multiplayer, that doesn't save the game from not feeling like Perfect Dark. This is an online Perfect Dark next generation, at the time, game that should have blown away N64 fans. Instead, it underwhelmed us, and while the 360 lived on to be a badass system to this day, Perfect Dark Zero is fucking Quark. I guess playing those 8-bit and 16-bit and 32 and 64-bit games brought me back in time and somehow brought me back to today. But I'll tell you, Rare Replay is pretty good. The problem I had with it was once the initial nostalgia wears off, you're not gonna wanna sit there and play fucking, Gunfight for 8 hours a day. And if you are, you're a fucking weirdo. But I tell you one thing, I had a lot of fun with the achievements. And when you look at the game, you press back on the game when you select it, it shows you your achievements for it. Some of them are hard to get, some of them are pretty easy, and some of them are in between, so there's a lot to work for all 30 games. The game contains 10,000 achievements score. Achievements, I guess it's pointless, but I don't know, I guess I like to try and get whatever I can get. So that's Rare Replay for you. It's a pretty cool game that's not going to last you more than the rest of the August and the summer. I mean, if anyone's playing this game when the big games come out like Fallout 4, Lord help you. As it stands, it's a pretty cool collection. It's $30, not $79. Thumbs up for that. And I had a lot of fun with some of the games. That about sums it up. You'll have a lot of fun with some of the games. Play Blast Corps. That's a really cool game. Thanks for joining me. I hope you quarf. Have a good one. This fucking universe.